Well, good morning. Welcome to Friday. Happy Friday. Can't wait for the weekend. All right. So we ended our stream last time up $58. Then yesterday, following the plan, I did my 1 minute box. I did my 5 minute box, and then I waited for that candle to rest, and then I took this trade going up, which got me about 104 points. Then it pulled back and broke that candle, and then I got another 56 points. So I think yesterday I was up about $320 on the day with 1 micro. So not a bad yesterday. And so what do we got going on today? Overnight session ranges towards the high. Ranges towards the high. The Asian session makes a low. London session hits, still continues to range, and then just about 5:30 this morning we have this pretty decent drop. So what do we have on our sessions? We've got our Asian session, and our London session just took the low of that Asian session just a little bit ago this morning. So let's see. 15-minute. We've got a good push down. And then I also want to take a look at our daily. Daily is going to be important. As we just broke the 8, our daily 8 has flattened a bit, and our candle so far today is a lower candle. So we are bumping at the bottom of this little range, so we could see a bullish structure start to happening on our 3 or 5 minute and heading back up to the top, or we could continue lower, break this whole low and push down and make a lower low on the daily, which that could happen. So I think we're just gonna play our boxes this morning and see where things lead us. We've got about 4 minutes to the open, and then we'll see what happens. Let's get our 3 minute here. We're staying well below the 8. Where are we at on our 4 hour? We've got a bearish candle on our 4 hour with a pretty good amount of pressure. So bears are well in control of the last 4 hours. And then we also got a bearish candle on our 1 hour. Although we are coming back up a little bit, so we're getting a little bit of a push back up. So let's see what we can do. Are we going to come and take this liquidity above the Asia or the London high and then go back down? Or we could keep going up to yesterday's high. Hope you have your coffee this morning. I do. Went to local coffee shop. Got some coffee. It's been an early morning this Friday. All right, so all candles. So daily showing bearish, 4 hour showing bearish, 1 hour showing bearish, 15 minutes showing bearish. So everything is in the bearish move, but we also have that we have the bottom of that little range, so we could go back to the top or go at least into it a little bit before continuing down. But right now my bias is bearish, so what I'll be looking for is 1 minute, 5 minute range, and then definitely be pretty confident in jumping into the downside. If we start going up, might go take a play to the upside, but it's going to be probably more of a scalp than a hold waiting for some expansion. So let's see what happens. All right. What will the market present and give us today? Trying to really control my risk. Again, from our last stream, I am on a trading timeout from my evaluations because I blew 3 accounts this month. So I am on punishment. I'm gonna wait until the beginning of April, or that first week of April, to start trading my evaluations again, because I need that restriction. Since I blew 3 accounts, I can't keep going. So I need myself to pause for a minute, do some paper trading, which is what we're going to do today. We're just going to put our positions in on TradingView rather than running a real evaluation account. I know that seems kind of dumb, but I'm trying to work on my psychology a bit as far as having some consequences to being an idiot when I'm training. So trying to control that addictive side of this. My son must be listening to me because he's texting me. Yes, I do. All right. Our opening range. Let's see. This is... All right. Let's see our box. All right, here's our 1 minute. Well, now I'm nervous. I guess he's watching. Good morning. Thank you for joining my stream, son. You are up early this morning. Oh, let's see. Let's make sure I'm on my 1 minute. Sorry, that was my 3 minute range. So we're in our 1 minute. This is our third candle, so that's our 1 minute range. Right. There. And now we're gonna try to wait for our 5 minute range. That big drop, I am expecting a little bit of ranging this morning because a lot of energy just happened on that push down. And so I'm a little apprehensive to jump into the downside after this big push right before the open. Let's see. All right. It's our 4th candle here. It's gonna be something like this for our 5-minute range. Ooh, there we go. One last candle for our 5-minute range here. Ooh. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna go up or are we gonna go down? All right, that is our 5-minute range. Let's go back to our 3-minute chart. See where we are. All right, we've got a couple of big topping tails here. Ooh. My downside bias is strong right now. All right, so let's get it to the downside here. This is probably a bad idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. Why am I entering? Because of these topping tails right here, where we did not close above this 8 moving average. So we had a lot of pressure to the upside, got bought back down, pressure to the upside, got bought back down, and then we keep staying below the 8. And so as long as we can hold below that 8, we should be good. And I'm going to give myself this candle as my stop loss. Oh, see, darn it. If we close above the 8, I'll be out. What do we have on our... We're still below the 0 on our tick, so we've still got a lot of downside pressure. We're bumping up against the bottom of this range here. So we might hit to the top, but if we keep going, we could continue down. And then our advanced decline line is to the downside, and our bold is to the downside. So, all right, we're looking good for downside pressure, and we're holding below that 8. Did I mention we were going to range for a bit? All right, bears. Come on, bears, push. Man, we can clear the low of that bullish candle right there. I'm going to feel a lot better about this trade. But if we break the high of that, yeah, we're out. That's where I'm out right there. Right there. So our negative is 2 times 27. What is that? Let's do some public math here. Minus $54. All right. Now, if we can come up here, make a bearish candle that doesn't close the 8 and then break that candle, I think we can be pretty okay to get into the upside. But let's see if that happens. But let's put our first trade as a minus $54. And that was minus 27 points. All right. Market was showing us bearishness, holding below this 8, big topping tails, even a bullish closure below the 8. See, like this was all looking good for a downside move, and then I mean, I don't regret getting that trade because it could have just went. Now we've got a small loss, and we have a pretty good idea that we're going to go to the upside. If we can start making some bullish structure, I think our target is going to be the top end of this London session range, because we were unable to close below the London session range, and we're starting to head up. So now if we start making some bullish structure, this is my new target. Give me a bearish candle that closes above the 8 and then it breaks, and then we are gonna head to the upside. So what we're looking for is a pullback and then one of these. So that's kind of what we're looking for right now. That would give me enough bullish structure to say, okay, I think we're good. What we can also look at here is our VIX just broke this structure right here. This break is why we started going up on the other side. So that break of structure on the VIX allowed for this move right here. Where's our Vold? It's still low. And our advanced decline line is buried into this downside. So this is giving me pause to say we should jump into the upside. So I want to say if that structure plays out, but I'm also thinking we are at the top end of this range. If we come up and take this high and start moving back, we might start building that lower structure. So since this is super unclear and we're trapped inside of our initial balance range, then I am just going to sit on my hands for a minute and just let it play out. Since I know my son is watching, he's thinking, yeah, Dad, do that. And then he's going to make fun of me later if I don't. So I am going to sit on my hands and wait for this to become a little bit more clear. So we just hit our 15-minute 8, and we're kind of holding underneath that now, which is even giving me more conviction to the downside. So if I can get a good 15-minute candle that pushes and closes on its low, I'll catch the pullback and then jump in. That's my new plan. Let's see if it plays out. Doesn't look like we've got news today, so we don't have to worry about waiting for news to happen. The other thing that I think could happen, because it's Friday and we like to be super annoying on Fridays, is this could come down, then back up, take this high, then come down and take this low, and then go higher, or opposite, right? It could come down, up, and then start triangle, and then do a maneuver. So ooh, even better if it takes this high, then peaks under the low, we could get a continuation that way too. So many options. This is why we bring our coffee to these sessions, because sometimes we just get to drink coffee. Come on, do something. The other thing that I'm seeing here, it's kind of interesting, is we've got this wick on this little candle right here. And then we've got this big imbalance range right here. So we could range for a minute, maybe an hour. You never know. watching. Oh, patience. I, I'm still bearish bias in a bullish up move, so we're just waiting right now. I mean, look at this. We've got our VIX is stuck in this range. Our tick is under 0, and our advanced decline and our volume or vold is below 0. So we've got 3 of our 4 showing bearishness, and the VIX right now is breaking down showing bullish, but we just went down touched. So if this can start moving to the upside, we should see our lower move. But now we just broke and closed outside this range, so I need to start seeing some bear candles happen here before I consider another move. Bearish pressure on our fundamentals, bullish on our technicals. Confusing, very, very confusing. And this is why we're waiting. All right. Let's see if we can break back down into that little lower range. We just touched the 50 on our 3-minute. We just are breaking the 20 with some pressure on our 5-minute, and we haven't broke the 8 yet on our 15-minute. So here we go. I still want to see a push, a pullback, and then a break. That's what I'm looking for. Now, if we get a close above the 8 with this bearish candle, like now we have a bearish candle closing above the 8. And if this candle closes above the 8 and then we start moving up, I think I might get into a short play to the upside. Which looks like this might be what we're about to do. I do think this is a good play. If we can break this high right here, I think we can give it this candle. I think we're gonna try for the top end of the London session range. And what we can do is we can drop down to this 1 minute and see if this is going to play out. What I don't like on this 1 minute is we held above the 8. This one closed below the 8, and then this one closed above the 8. So we could get some ranging action. What's my VIX looking like? Ooh, we just ran onto the 8. We're still on our tick below 0. And we're still below 0 on our other fundamentals, our bold and our advanced decline lines. Love triangles, they're my favorite. I am just not seeing, like, the oomph. Well, we're tapped in. So let's see if this will do what we think it's going to do. What do we got for risk? We have $106 of risk. So if this one doesn't play out, we're probably done for the day. Oh, bummer. Let's get the volume, bulls. I mean, one of these times we're actually gonna like make a decent profit on a stream. That would be great. Well, the funny thing is like yesterday and the day before have been really great days of this following through like it normally should. Jump on stream and then, you know, it doesn't. Oh, bummer. All right, well, looks like we are about to. Where's my loss? So I'm gonna put in a loss here in a minute, I think. I gave myself that one bullish bar. We took the high, but we haven't got any displacement to the upside. So that's kind of a bummer. We haven't closed below the 8 yet. I think if I jump out right now, that'll give me at least one more trade for the stream. All right, we're gonna come out on some little bit of risk. So that's $37 or 37 points. What's that? 37. That's minus $74. Minus 74. Which is going to be minus 128. So we got one more trade for this stream. My goal is to stay at $200 loss. So what's this guy? 37 points. This is what happens when you trade against the pressure, right? But we're keeping our losses small. We're 2 losses this morning. I think if we can get a bearish close below the 8, a pullback to the 8, jump in, ride it to the downside. Like my original plan. But the market's going to give us what it gives us, right? So we have this push up, consolidation towards the top. It's going to break like it's going to head up. We have a clear target to the top of the London session high. I still think this trade was good, and this trade was good. It didn't play out, right? The market didn't give us the follow through that we needed. And so now we're just going to sit on our hands and have one more trade for today. So we're going to need to let things develop a little bit before we decide to jump into that other trade. Now, that could happen in the next half hour while we're on stream, or not. But by keeping my losses small today, that means anything I would have made the last couple days when the market did follow through on these plays, it still means I'll be profitable even if I do lose the $200 today. I think with yesterday's 320, the day before, we ended stream at $58, but I did 6 trades, and those 6 trades equaled to $428. So total, I'm up $748 over the last 3 days. Yeah. So even if I lose 200, I'm still going to stay up 500, which this is why we're going to do small losses. See, this is why I didn't lose this trade and then immediately jump to the downside thinking we were going to head down, because there's nothing here that supports doing that, right? This structure still supports bullishness. I just don't want to stay in while it wrecks me. So until this becomes clear on what it wants to do, we're going to stay out and keep our risk off the table until we get a little bit more clarity. All right. Reason I don't trust this next move to the upside is our bearish candle broke the 8. Our bullish candle went up and then got kind of sucked back down. And now we're heading up again, and we can't seem to break this 50. But we also don't have bearish structure to support jumping into the downside. So, I mean, we do on the 15-minute. Like, look at this drop. Drop. Pull back. It could drop again. Well, eventually it should drop and test this low, but we'll see. All right, come on, somebody, one side or the other. Let's do some action. Come on. The range is strong. All right, what do we got going on? So we have still trapped inside this range on the VIX. We still have a lot of bearish pressure on the tick, and we got a lot of bearish pressure on both the VOLD and the advanced decline line. So I still think our downside is a good play because the VIX has not broke this 8 and it keeps pushing up. So if this breaks the high, we should see a really good move to the down side. But we are in this little range here. All right. I think we're going to jump in right here because we've broken back into this range. We haven't dropped the 50. I still need that pullback, that clear displacement through, pull back, and then go. So we're going to wait. You're welcome, son. Follow the plan, right? Follow the plan. We got about 4 minutes on our 15-minute candle. So if our 15-minute candle closes bearish on its low and we can get the next candle to retrace a little bit, we can get in on that 15-minute retracement and head to the downside. See, glad I didn't jump into the downside because we still got the pressure from that 20 moving average. This needs to close. I'd be way more excited if this VIX closed way up here and started heading up. But look, we got a lot of pressure, more pressure to the downside. Oh, there we go. Just closed under the 20. What I'm waiting for is we've got 2.5 minutes on this 15-minute candle. And then when that 15-minute candle closes, we're probably going to get a little bit of a retrace. We'll see where that retrace stops. And then if we get a good displacement candle out, I'll jump in and see if we can catch this low. But I don't like how that 15 minutes forming now. Look at the pressure underneath. All right, my plan just went to heck. So back into that range. Our VIX is Still holding above, though. Well, not above. Like, it pulled back in, but it didn't, like, drop all the way to the bottom. Our VIX is still pressure underneath. The other ones are still pressure to the downside. And we got a big up candle. So I'm wondering if this is maybe to get everyone to jump into the upside, and then we're going to start making that bearish pressure. It's that bearish pressure that's got me not wanting to jump into the upside. And if that's the case, like if we end this stream today and we end today at minus $128, we're still up a good amount for paper trading for the week. So you gotta wonder though, if there's this much bearish pressure and it can't go lower, like there's gotta be maybe something sitting there just buying up any potential push to the downside. All right. Maybe now we'll get our bearish pressure. Still below zero. Still trying to hold above and push up on the VIX. So if we can get some more displacement out of this, we should get that big move to the downside. We're hanging out above this 1.5 mil range, and we keep steadily moving down on the VOLD. Now, this is our most lagging fundamental, which is the VOLD. This is our second to last lagging fundamental, which is the advanced decline line. And then these are our like more short-term fundamentals that are more closely related to what price is doing. All right, we're gonna get into the upside right here because we had a bearish candle close above the 8. We'll see. We still got so much downside pressure. So this could be our last trade today. And this is 36. So yeah, this is going to be our last trade. All right, let's see if this works out. Man, this is worse than watching paint dry today. Yeah, we're going to lose this trade. All right, looks like this is going to be our last trade for today. Taking us down. What is it? 36 times 2. 72. Yeah, we're right at 200 today. All right, 3. I'm gonna put this in here because I don't think it's gonna go. So we'll fix it later if it does. Minus 36 points. Plus 128. Oh man, look at that. Right at 200 points or $200. So this is our $200 minus, unless this takes off. If it takes off. So why did I jump into this trade? We had a lot of consolidation. We had a big push up. We had a lot of consolidation towards the upside of this move. We had the liquidity sweep, the push up, a bearish candle closing above the 8 moving average, and then we broke this candle to the upside. That is why I got in, and I'm targeting the top of the London session range. And I don't know if I want to target into the Asian session. So if we hit this, we might be up a few bucks. So let's see. Let's see. Are we gonna push anymore? Problem is we're in this fair value gap right here, and we're just at 50%. 50% is right about there. So we're still, man, our pressure is, look, we just broke the low, but we haven't broke below this. So we still have this range in play on the VIX, so we could still bounce around a bit. We're still pressure to the downside. We're still pressure to the downside. And our VIX just popped above. All right, come on, keep pushing to the upside. We're getting stuck in that fair value gap. We're gonna get some pressure back to the downside here. We can only get what the market's going to give us, though. We enter our setups like they're all going to play out, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. 2 times already this morning they didn't. Looks like this one's kind of on its way to doing better than the other ones did. At least we're getting some displacement out of this range to the direction that we're trading in. So I like it. But I also know there's a lot of pressure to the downside, so this is probably fairly short-lived. But since we are heading in this direction, I really want to think that they're going to take this liquidity right here. But we're also, like, look at this bearish 4-hour candle. We've retraced about 50%, so it could also just reverse. Because look at that, 15-minute, now we're in the 20, and we're getting a little bit of resistance. If we can break this 20, then maybe we'll head back up. We'll make it to the upside. If not, all right, we've only got a couple minutes left here. Oh, this is such a slow market this morning. Ooh, if we get to break even, I think I'm out. Actually, I'm gonna go just above break even to cover some of the. Yeah, we're not. We just broke the low of that last candle. I think I'm out. I'm gonna call it right there. Go down, hit my. There we go. I'm out. So that's $20 instead of a minus 72. $20. I got nine. Oh, what is it? Sorry, 9.4. So $18. Gotta do the math right. Someone will call me out on it. So this was 9.4 or 9 points. And instead of 200, we are minus what? 128 minus 18, what? 110. All right, so today we did minus 110 on stream. Bummer on the loss, but overall we are up about $600 on the week. So we had 320 plus 428 minus 110. We are up $638 for the week. If this structure breaks later, breaks down, up, I might catch a downside move, so we might end up the day positive, but on stream today we were negative $110. Thanks for joining and watching the stream today. We'll see you next week, and I'm thinking we'll be back to paper trading next week because I am punishing myself for not following my rules earlier this month. So we'll be back to valuation trading in April, but for now we're just going to continue in this manner until I learn my lesson. All right, have a good day, everybody. Have a good weekend, and we will see you on Monday.